Well, we are getting right after baling straw here. We're baling with 2 balers. Andrew and Davey are waiting over there on the corner of the field. This is the last bit of straw that or the last bit of ground that we combined, but the direction that we're going in, we're traveling towards the area that's furthest away from the farm, and that was combined first. However, this was planted first last fall. So we got 2 trucks over on deck on the left-hand side of the second field here. My nephew, Colton, is down in that far field loading Lukens, and Alex is on deck. Looks like Sarah's just getting moved over to get in line to get loaded, and then Jason's in the black Kenworth. So Andrew and Davey are waiting for us to get a little bit more of this baled, and then we're gonna move everybody to Warner's on the Cleverly farm. We'll use the rakes to double up everything. Jared's baled a little bit over there, not much, and we're hoping to finish it up here shortly. So I'm running the John Deere big baler myself. Jared, you seen him go by here a minute ago. He is running the Case International baler on the 7290. We had the 4620 on actually we had it on both balers when we first started, but I just wanted to get these four-wheel drives on these balers because we've been dealing with some muddy conditions. And then of course we've got this steep hill to deal with. Now we had oats on this field last year, harvested the oats off, and then we seeded it down to wheat. Now we're gonna flip this over and we're gonna plant alfalfa on this ground that we have taken the wheat off. Now Jared baled this last year with a 4620 on the Case baler, and he was able to pull this hill. I wish that I would have got that on video because I thought that was I was impressed. I was quite impressed with him being able to pull this steep hill with that old tractor. But back in the days of pulling pull-type choppers and self-unloading wagons and stuff like that, you know, these hills that are like this, you just dealt with it. So these tractors that we're using now are a little oversized for these balers. I mean, these balers are a little heavier than a pull-type chopper, but you put a self-unloading wagon in behind a pull-type chopper and it's gonna weigh a lot more than one of these balers. I think these balers weigh like 15 or 17,000 pounds. So you got Jared coming up on our right-hand side here. We've only got a handful of windrows left. Looks like he's got some broken bales there. We're gonna have to gather up the strings and get that baled up here. But this is the Hudson farm, and we are up on the steepest part of it, right in behind the grain bins. The old cow barn is on the other side of the road. You can kind of see the silos there. And then I've done some videoing in that field. It's just kind of on the other side of us here when we chopped hay in there. That's some of our steep ground as well. And that was hay last year, and I no-tilled corn into that. And I kind of showed you a glimpse of that when we flew the drone over the top of these fields when we were harvesting this with 3 combines. So we're gonna keep at it here. I don't know if I'm gonna get a chance to get the drone up in the air while we're big baling here. But we're just gonna keep at it. After today, we've got one big day of baling and we're gonna be done. Tim just took the load of wheat, the last load of wheat in that came off this farm a little while ago. And we've got the grain buggy down there hooked to the 7200, and that's got about a third of a load on it. We topped off the all-elect trailer here this morning, and what we'll do is we'll use that wheat for cover crop. It's slightly sprouted, but we'll just have to put it on at a heavier rate. There goes Jared walking right along with the LB 333 on the 7290. I'm just kind of creeping along. Some of this field was combined with the rotary combine of my uncle's. They get on these windrows that were done with the rotary combine, and it doesn't feed too well into the pickup head, so we just kind of move along at a steady, slow pace, and we let her just feed into it. But you can kind of see this lays steep enough. There's some of this we don't farm just because of the way it lays. So we'll have this wrapped up here in a little while here, and once we get over to the Cleverly farm, maybe I'll get a chance to fly the drone over that to kind of show you what we had for wheat over there. There's a couple of real nice square rectangular shaped fields, and then this one field that we had planted to wheat. It's real just goofy shaped. Now when I flew the drone over the top of this field when we were harvesting it, I was describing an area up on top here where the Hudson family, when they owned this farm and they milked cows, they had cows and chickens and everything else. They had chickens on this side of the road, cows on the other side. At night they would let their cows out to the pasture, and the cows would always come up on top of this hill because it was cooler up here. So once they discovered that the cows always wanted to come up here, they ended up putting a cement pad in here that we ended up taking out 10 or 12 years ago. It was right just about where that broken bale is over there. And they had a cement pad poured, and they brought feed up here and fed their cows enough feed for them to get through the evening. Actually, maybe it was right in about here. I forget where it was, but it was on the flatter portion of this field here. They didn't really farm this part of the field that we're on. They had it pastured for the cows, and they kind of stayed off these steep mongrel hills here. But this is real good ground over here. I described in a video quite a while ago that I can remember. We always traveled this road when I was dating my wife to go out to eat, and I can remember coming by this farm here, but I didn't know that we would someday own this. There's a couple of silo foundations on the other side of the road, and I don't know if they had a harvester silo at one time or not. I assume they did, just by the looks of what the foundation looks like. This big silo that's got the American flag on it, I talked to a silo company. I wanted to take that silo down and move it home. And I had a gentleman come over and looked at it. I think that's a 90 footer or 95 foot. Had a gentleman come over and looked at it, and he said, you know, I ain't gonna be able to take that down. It was shotcreted, sprayed with concrete on the inside. Now when those silos are made, well, this silo on this side, it's made with cement blocks. The silo on the other side is a poured concrete silo that Campbell did back in the 80s. And while he was here looking at it, I said, well, if that's out of the question, we'll go over and look at the silos that are on the Cummings farm, and then that's what we ended up doing. We ended up taking 2 silos down over on the Cummings farm. We had them brought home, and then that's the silo that sits behind the commodity shed. So I got a phone call ringing in here now. I better answer that, and we'll join back up with you here in a little while once we get over to the Cleverly farm, and we're just gonna keep after it here. Well, we are into the following day here now. We should be able to finish baling all the wheat straw today. We have finally made a decision on which telehandler we're going to buy, and we have decided to go with the JCB. Now, this is a very tough decision to make, being that these machines, they're both awesome machines. We've had good luck with the last JCB that we've had, or have. We're going to keep that. And we just felt that the JCB was going to be a better fit for us than the Cat. Although there isn't anything that we don't like about the Cat, we just felt that it would be better to have 2 of the same machines. Now, we're going to get some bucket attachments for this that are duplicates of the ones that we already have, just because we're going to be using both of these machines at the same time, and some of the parts that the other machine takes, this one will take, and it's just easier to have 2 machines that are very similar to each other or the same. This Cat machine, there isn't anything bad that I can say about it. Now, we didn't really use these machines all that much. All we really did with them was we carried the forklift. We just tested them for lifting capacity and whatnot like that. So right now we're going to start putting bales away with this machine here. And as you can see, we haven't even had a bucket on this. All we've had on there was the forklift, the forks. So we got Longhorn just leaving. They bring in our bedding sand, and looks like that truck's a new truck. I don't think I've seen the yellow one before, but they've got a very nice lineup of trucks, beautiful trucks. So we're gonna go and start putting bales away, and then once we get the bales put away, we're gonna get back into baling, and we should be done baling today, like I was saying just a few minutes ago. We'll just give you just an idea what these machines look like a little bit here. We'll do a quick walk around. Cab is very nice on this Cat. Now, when I originally jumped in this, I couldn't figure out how to get the bucket off of it, and you have to press 2 buttons in order to get the bucket off. But this cab is laid out very well. Comfortable cab. Everything is put in the right place. So the one thing that we liked about this Cat was the serviceability of it. It's a lot easier to work on than the JCB. We'll show you what that looks like here in a second. JCB is a little tighter, but we can work around that. So we'll show you what the JCB looks like. And as you can see, the engine compartment on the JCB it's a lot tighter than the engine compartment on the Cat, as far as changing oil and whatever. You know, your filters are easily accessible, but it's doing the other work to the engine that is quite a bit tighter on this machine. So we better get up there and get putting some bales away. We've got 2 loads there already, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to christen this machine. Hopefully we can keep or manage to keep the mirrors and the lights all on there. Now, the last one, we've had quite a few guys run it, and they've dropped bales on it. They've broke the lights off of it, the fenders and everything else. So we're not going to do that today. So let's get moving with this machine and get some bales put away. this is the last of the Baling here. I thought I'd throw the drone up in the air. We've got everybody kind of in the field all here together. Got Andrew right there. He's, him and Davey are actually just getting done. They ended up doubling up these windrows, and you can see me and Jared are off in the background here, baling with both balers. Up on the upper side of this field, where we started, up by the road, they're up here picking up bales. We've got Colton running the loader tractor, which is the 7710. We ended up putting the loader on that the other day, and he is loading Ben. And then we've got Alex on deck here with the Freightliner. We'll see if we can pull up next to her window and see if she'll say hello. I don't know if she will. Oh, she's driving out of the way here. So, Ben is just about loaded, so she's actually headed over to get in line, and Sarah should be pulling in here in a minute. The 7710, we had it on the mixer, took it off the mixer wagon, put the 7730 on it, and that's what we're currently feeding cows with while we're picking up bales. We don't have an additional bale spear for the telehandler, or else we would be using both telehandlers with the bales here, but it just hasn't worked out that way yet here, so we're due to get a bale spear here momentarily. So these bales here, they're going over to one of the buildings here, one of the pole barns on Cleverly's farm here. They're actually only piling up 2 bales tall in the truck here, just because they're only going a short little bit of a distance. When we travel longer distances, we end up putting 3 bales high in the truck. We just put in 1 bale at a time, 1 tier at a time, and then we just keep shoving the bales forward. Works out pretty good. You know, in the past couple years, you know, I've been told, oh, you need a grouper and all that stuff, but this works pretty fast. So if the guy starts out loading with the bucket loader, right when both balers start, he can usually keep up to both balers, providing trucks end up getting to him. So Ben's actually got to move his truck ahead so his Colt hasn't got to do so much driving around here. Trained drivers. So we'll go ahead and fly down to where the balers are. Again, we don't have much left to bale here. Now this one particular field that we're in is on the north end of the field that Andrew broke down in with the 8120. And he actually broke down with the 7290 when we were fitting that ground up with the offset disc. So we've got the 8120 on the John Deere baler, and then this is Jared here with the 7290 and the LB 333. As you can see, there isn't much left in this field here to bale. We've just got this little bit that's on this knob here, and then that's going to do it. We could get some pretty good rain showers here this afternoon, and I'm hoping that we end up getting all these bales picked up before the rain comes. It was a week ago today we started with wheat. My uncle came over onto this farm with 3 of his machines. We started in Lafayette with one of our R1 machine, and the custom guy showed up with his Case International on Wednesday. So on Wednesday of last week, we had 5 combines running. Thursday, my uncle had hay to chop, so I don't think he combined anything. on Thursday, but Friday he had a couple of machines going, and we had our machine running as well. And then Saturday we had a little bit of a short day, and all three of us were combining on the same farm in Cabela's. We ended up baling that here yesterday. I think the beginning part of this video is when I started off baling there, if I remember right. Jared just spit out a bale. He's actually going through a wet spot of this field here, and then I am just up to his left-hand side here. I'm not quite going as fast as he is because I'm trying to run the drone and bale here at the same time. The balers have been working out real well. Jared's got the Case International baler dialed in pretty good. That's actually baling. That's doing a pretty good job this year. Getting a little wiggly on the windrow here. Dropped out a bale there. We didn't put the 4620. Well, he was baling with a 4620 earlier on when we were on flatter ground. And then once we got these 5 combines going, I said, you know what, this ground that we're on right now is kind of soft and sandy. I said, you better put 4-wheel drives on. Them balers, you're going to end up stuck and everything else. And then this field here will fly over the top of it here. This one's got a pretty good sized hill that drops off this bottom side here, and it is a side hill down on this west side. And then the field that we baled yesterday in Cabela's, that's pretty steep as well. Kind of see the roll of this one hill. It's doable, but far away from home as we are, I didn't want to deal with him getting stuck and having to get pulled out and everything else here. So ended up putting the 7290 and the 8120 on the balers. So we're going to fly up across these balers, just glance at them quickly here, and then we're going to call it quits on this video. And at it here. Got to get manure out yet, and we're going to start plowing. Now this ground here, this particular farm, we rent the dairy barns to another gentleman, and he's actually going to have manure drag line on this ground. This ground's a little too far away for us to worry about manuring, so he's got to get his lagoon empty here, and he'll have a custom guy come over and drag line it, and then it'll work out good. We'll plow it and seed it down. So that'll give you a turn around here. So yeah, got a bale just about ready to come off the chute there. As the material comes in the front end of the baler, it's pressing the material against the chamber on the back side of the baler that's a little smaller than the actual bale itself. That's what creates the pressure inside the bale. If you look at them metal platforms on top of the bale there, there's a hydraulic cylinder right underneath that John Deere sign on the baler, and then there's hydraulic cylinders on each side of that square-shaped piece around the outside of that bale case, and they squish in on the bale so that you can pack the bale that's getting made in front of it in the first part of the chamber, and then as it comes out of the bale chute, the bale tension ends up getting put on against the strings, and that's what you'll run into once in a while. You'll break strings because the valves have too much pressure on them for when they actually come out of the valve chamber, and once all that pressure comes up against the strings, you can break them. Just going through some ruts here, and Andrew and Davey are waiting for instructions. They're going to be calling me in a minute here, but as you can see, we got quite a few bales to get picked up here. Alex is getting loaded now, and Sarah, I just seen her pull in. I imagine a drone is catching it. I can't see it. This little screen here, so. Yeah. Well, folks, that is going to do it. I'm going to fly the drone back to this baler here, and we're going to call her quits. Whoa, there we go. Yeah. Well, folks, that is going to do it for this video. We're actually into the following day here now. We ended up getting the hay barn full. We've got straw in these 2, 4, 6 rows here, and we end up putting hay in this short little section. It only goes back enough for like 2 tractor trailer loads there. And I ended up taking the mirrors off of the telehandler, so I didn't get them smashed up here, and I just got done scraping this pad up. We actually blew the combine off, and we're going to get that ready for corn. Then we're going to put it away. So that is going to do it, folks, for this video. This machine works out really well, and it has 16 hours on it now, and it is quite the comfortable machine to run. It's nice and tight in the cab here. Yeah, the air is blowing a little heavy there, so all you hear is the blower motor. So that's gonna do it, folks. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.